you stressed, Marzena?
I'm excited.
I'm stressed and excited. So who are you?
You should introduce me. It will be very imperfect recording.
Okay, it was supposed to be imperfect. So we're gonna speak English today with Marzena Jankowska.
We will try.
Yes.
I will try. You can speak English.
We will see, because at the moment I'm pretty stressed and anxious. How about you? Do you feel stressed?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes. But I also feel excited and full of energy and very optimistic and very curious what will happen.
Exactly. I feel the same way. I have no idea what's gonna happen, but we have a topic for today, and so maybe you could say a few words about yourself.
Okay.
Because I've known you only for 5 years, so what can I know about you?
You know almost everything, because when somebody is talking for 5 years, almost every week, for almost 1 hour, what can you talk about?
I know all the secrets about Marzena.
Oh, no. Okay, so it's a little bit risky to talk with you in public. Okay, I will try to introduce myself. So, I'm psychologist, health and business psychologist. I work for 18 years as a trainer. I do some workshops for business. For many years, my specialization is mental toughness and then mental or psychological flexibility.
Okay.
I think it's also our topic today,
It
mental
is.
flexibility. And I learned English for a few years, for 5 years with you, because I had a dream to run workshops and to speak English, to run workshops in English and speak English in public, but I never thought that I will ever record that. You are amazing, because you convinced me to do this. And I am a mother, I have 2 children, I have dog. Brisa is together with us.
That's right.
Today.
She's
Yes.
sleeping.
Yes, and
She's
we are
lucky.
in fact, today we are at my home in Ustron.
That's right.
I live here for 7 years.
Okay. Yes, that's right. 7 years of happiness. You have been surrounded by beautiful nature, mountains, and I consider you the luckiest lady in the world
I
in
think so.
regards of where you live. That's right. Okay, so maybe I will introduce myself as well, because this is the first podcast in my life. My name is Stasiu, Staszek, Stanisław, whatever you call me, I'm happy with this. I've been teaching English in Poland for about 5 years, but the history of me teaching English goes back to 2005, I think. And I was pretty young and handsome when I started. Now I'm only handsome. And we need to both apologize to you, because we're both sick, which is
Yes.
great, because today's podcast will be about imperfection, that we don't need to be perfect. And you can see, you will hear a lot of coughing today, maybe wiping our noses as well. So it falls into the whole topic of that we don't need to be ready, and we don't need to wait for the best moment to record the podcast. The best moment, it's every day, in my opinion.
Yes.
Yes. So, and why in English? In English, because we want to show...
Because you are crazy.
We want to go through a journey today and show ourselves, and maybe show you as well, that you don't need to be the best to start using your talents to achieve something amazing and beautiful in your life. And this is one of the reasons we're not going to correct any mistakes or errors today during our conversations. And what is really interesting and fun is that I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes today because I'm stressed. I've been very anxious for a while before this interview, this podcast, and my brain is not working the same way as it would in a normal situation during a normal lesson. And I feel really relieved when I can say it out loud.
Yeah.
Do you do it?
Yes, and I also want to say that it is something completely new, because I know that it is not our lesson, and you will not correct me, and you will not tell me the word if I forget something. So I think that is the only correct attitude, that I have to help myself, and I will have to tell as I can, and I will try to say everything what I want. With this English I have.
And this is amazing, and I feel very proud and privileged that I've been able to go through this journey with you, because I remember we started about 5 years ago, but we met through a great school where you were learning. The school's name is Kated, really perfect place to start your journey with English. And then you had a long break, and then somehow we met again.
Yes.
and started speaking English. But I remember that the moment you were considering doing workshops in English, in my opinion, you were ready. In my opinion, you were ready
when we started
with your English,
okay,
but not with your opinion about yourself.
Exactly. Yes, because when we started, that was a dream, not a goal. Because if conditionals, no. Because if I set this kind of goal, probably it would be so scary, that I would never manage to do this. And I just wanted to focus on the process and on just speaking every week for some time, not completely not thinking about the result, just the process. And that was my way to manage my anxiety. And I was feeling completely unready. Now I feel unready for what we do now. But anxiety was stronger. I was anxious, very anxious.
Yeah, like me today. But you said something very important, psychologically known in our Polish culture. We are about 20 kilometers from Wisła now?
10 kilometers.
10 kilometers from Wisła. So you wanted to focus on the process, not on the goal, not to achieve something special. Exactly like Adam Małysz, who wanted to just enjoy the jumping and not to focus on the goal to win the competition or anything like that. Do you think this is something important when we feel that we have this imposter syndrome and that we're never ready and we never start anything because we're waiting for perfection and it never comes?
Yes, I think so. If we have imposter syndrome, and we both know that we have it.
Of course.
Yes, we feel never ready, and our mind will always produce a lot of overwhelming thoughts that we are not having enough skills and we are not good enough. And what I learned to do with these thoughts, it's accepting them. Yes, that probably it will never change, because this is my scheme.
Some pattern in your brain?
Yes, this is a kind of pattern in my brain, rooted very deeply in my brain, that I am not good. I'm not good enough. And I realize that I don't have to be good enough to do something pretty good.
Yes. Yes, so the imposter syndrome is really interesting, because we can be developing and changing all our lives, and the imposter syndrome is accompanying us all the time. Like we make the next step, and this thought that we are not good enough to do, I don't know, to provide a new workshop because it's different vocabulary, or to do something new with our ability to speak English, it overtakes us and it says, but you should be here and not here if you want to achieve this. But the only way is to start with what you've already got.
Yes, because I think it's a very nice phrase from therapy. I can't say it in English. What kind of therapy? I will have to think. But the phrase is that what changes our emotions and what changes are not thoughts, but what we do changes how we think about something. Yes, so you have to start with doing, not with thinking.
So let's forget for a moment about English, and for example, when you build relationships with people, I've been listening to millions of podcasts, not as good as this one, but still about relationships, and there was this guy who said that every time you set a boundary with someone, every time you say no, of course in a respectful way, you send a message to the other person that this is how I want to be treated. But what is more important is that you send a message to yourself.
Exactly.
And everyone you don't set a boundary, you send a message to yourself and say, actually, I can be treated like crap. And I allow it.
Yes, and what is very important that this way you changed your way of feeling your emotions. You start to feel in a different way, and that is something what makes you think another way and what makes you create another attitude towards yourself or other people.
Okay, but exactly, and what I've been thinking about for a long time before we met is we will get to this point, I hope, during this conversation, but I think there is something profoundly wrong, something fucked up in our culture, in our Polish culture, with the way we think about ourselves, about perfection, about being the best. And I want to give you an example from the language area, from the English language field. There's this lady, I can't remember her name. I'm sorry, I will find you one day and I will tell you that we've been talking about you. She has a cooking channel in English, and this channel is very popular. She's Polish. And under her videos, there are thousands of haters, Polish haters, who tell her how horrible her accent is, how many mistakes she makes, how she ridicules English in some way, or puts our nation in this strange situation that maybe all the Polish people speak English like that, and I was wondering, why do we have to constantly crave perfection and criticize others when they're trying to reach the next step in life and they've been doing something amazing, and you're not doing it, but you're still telling someone else you're horrible, your accent is horrible, your vocabulary is not enough, you are generally not enough. What's wrong?
Maybe because they feel scared and ashamed, because they are scared and ashamed about themselves. And somebody has the courage to do something brave, something else, and it makes us feel uncomfortable. So that is their way of managing the situation and criticize, because they can feel better for a moment, but it changes completely nothing.
Okay, so let's go back to this situation. We are both speaking English and we have probably made 10 or 15 mistakes already.
I don't know.
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
And once this podcast goes live one day, I hope, there will be comments like this. Oh, Marzena didn't use present perfect. This guy is a teacher and he forgot how to say this word or that word. So does it make you uncomfortable when you think about stuff like that, when you put yourself out there? And are you not afraid of criticism about your English, for example, after this program? Or
what changed is that I accept my anxiety about that. Yes, so I think it's not so strong as it used to be. In fact, it changed a lot after I was a victim of huge hate. In fact, on LinkedIn a few years ago, and it was so awful and it was so scary that I have to process it and go through it. And after that situation, I was feeling like nothing worse can happen to me anymore. Yes, that was the worst thing. And now as you said, I don't give a shit.
I did. Yes.
Okay. So
we are learning new vocabulary.
So I always have a little bit of hesitation, even if I do something in Polish, even if I do something I know, because I know that I am good in some topics, yes, like mental flexibility or my psychological topics. But I learned to accept this discomfort in myself, because I know that it is worth it to go through it. Because when I constantly do something and I have reflection about my attitude, about what I think about the situation, about myself, about other people, I have a chance to think about it and to change something, but only when I change my emotions by doing something. That is the process.
For me, the big game changer was to accept where I am now with my talents, with my abilities, and also awareness of what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. And I want to give you an example, because just before we started recording this podcast, you were walking in the mountains. Yes, you were on Chantoria and I was at the gym. And I had this situation in September. One of my students is a great expert if it comes to exercising and stuff like that. And I was telling him about this exercise. When you lift the dumbbells, you do something like this, yes? And he said to me, how many kilos do you use? What's the weight of the dumbbells? And I said, it's 7.5 kilos each. And he said, Artur, I love you, and this was really good, and thank you for all your advice. And he said, you know what, it's never gonna work if you use 7.5 kilos, you have to use 30 kilos at least. So I went to the
30,
gym.
not 13.
30. And I was like, oh fuck, I must change it now, and I have to raise the bar and do it with 30 kilos. And it looked like this. I went to the gym, I took this dumbbell and I did something like this, and I fell on the floor with it. I looked around, everybody was looking at me, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, I can't even move it from one place to another, and he wants me to lift it, 10 times like this and do 3 rounds of it. And I was so shocked at this moment that I decided that I shouldn't try the 30 kilos. It was too difficult. It was not the moment in my life I could ever do it. And I took 20 kilos or something like this. So for a second my thoughts were like, I'm a failure. I'm not doing it the right way. There are guys around me who, their triceps is bigger than my whole body, and I'm never gonna achieve this level of fitness. And I thought, you know what, why would I worry about this? The only way to get to the 30 kilos is to take 20 and start working with 20 kilos. It's still more than 7.5 before. And I've been doing it for the last few months. I actually started with 15, then I went to 20, then 22.5. And there has been progress. And I love it. But the only way of getting to this moment of progress was to accept that it's not going to be 30 kilos now, and it's not going to be in the next 3 or 4 or 5 months. Just only by repetition and by accepting who I am now, I might get to this point in 6 months.
Yes, and I think it's also about our values, and if we are aware why we are doing something. Because when I think about English, I wanted to communicate in English, to spread, the ideas wider than only in Poland or only in Polish. And in many situations, I try to go back when I hesitate or I'm afraid. I constantly go back to my values and ask myself, what is my deep need? Yes, what I want to give the best I have to the world. Yes, so the question is why you are going for the gym? Because you want to be stronger, healthier. It's not about...
No, I want the ladies in leggings.
So, do you really need to take 30 kilos to... I can't see the,
The ladies can see.
Okay.
Carry on, I'm sorry.
Yes, that was my point. Yes, that in fact, being aware of your values and being connected to your values are two processes of mental flexibility. Yes, 2 of 6 processes. So we have to be aware what is the deepest reason I want to put myself to something hard, to feel this discomfort. So what is the wider context of my discomfort? It's like in one of my best book, Upside of Stress, Kelly McGonigal, she recalls a story from Ali Akram. It's another great scientist. When she was sitting in the Stanford University somewhere in the middle of the night, and she was so overwhelmed with his dissertation, and one guy opened the door and said something like, "Oh, the next cold and black night, walking to your Mount Everest." Yes, something like that. So when you are choosing this kind of goal that you want to reach Mount Everest, probably you will not be very surprised that you will have a lot of inconvenience going through the steep mountain. Yes, that it will be cold and it will be very hard, and probably you will be very tired because and you agree, yes, to be in this discomfort because you know the wider context of why you are doing this. And this is the same with English for me.
And you have just described my journey to this podcast, because I have been, and I am proud to say this, and this has been a long journey for me to admit to weaknesses, and I love admitting to the parts of me which are not perfect, and I don't care. And one of my weaknesses, and I think we all share it as a humanity, is that when we want to do something new and it has some value and you can feel it's important, we get into a huge state of anxiety because we start feeling this discomfort. This you have just described, that this Mount Everest is not gonna be, a chill out, relaxing moment by the fire at home with guitars and, hot chocolate. It's gonna be work. And I've gone through a huge amount of processing before, first of all, reaching out to you and asking about this podcast. Second of all, the imposter syndrome and saying, Stash, come on, you're not good enough, yes, to do it. And then all the thoughts which brought me back to 20 years ago or something, like, oh, people are gonna laugh at you, you're gonna have hate and blah, blah, blah. And the question was that this wide perspective, why? Why do I want to do this with you? And the answer was, it is too precious to resign from it because it has a great value, and I want to show the world our internal secret processes we go through every week when we have our conversation. And one of the reasons I was dreaming about having you as a first guest is that our conversations have a huge value for me personally as well. Yes, I learn something every week. I feel stronger. I feel ready for because we always talk on Sunday mornings, and I feel ready for the next week, not because I've got someone who said something nice about me. It's the opposite. It's you are someone who shows a different perspective about many different topics, about mental toughness, and not only about life in general. And I thought, why wouldn't we share it with the world, this beauty, this pearl, which I consider our conversations a treasure. And this goal, this vision of showing the world that you, for example, you don't have to be perfect to start something new in your life, was more important to me than the anxiety.
But I want to tell you that everything you said you have because you are using your talents, because conversations with you are amazing. Yes, yes, that's true. This is something so special. It's sometimes like therapy. Yes, sometimes it's always deep, and it's always about something important, about new perspective. Yes, and for me the most important thing is that I can forget that I speak English. And this is the best moment when I don't know even that we speak English, and I start to think about think in English. Yes, and because probably our guests didn't know, but I did my first workshop abroad in Portugal in English after 2.5, I think, years of our conversation. Yes, for me, that was something I would never, dream about, that it will be not even 3 years and I will go through all my anxiety and I will do that. And that was because we were just talking about important, curious things, and that it was honest, it was authentic, and it was about life. So it is very engaging. Yes, and I think that this is the mystery of this process, that you can forget about your imperfection and just start to talk about something interesting, and that is amazing.
It's beautiful what you've said. Thank you for your kind words, and I can only return the favor. And I remember when you were telling me about your dream of doing workshops in English, I was thinking, you are fluent, you are so wise, so smart, so clever, and you've got your vocabulary is more than enough to start it, and you were hesitating, which is of course the normal part of the process.
I still hesitate.
Yeah, like me today, yes, about this podcast and stuff. And then I was thinking, By the way, I spent 13 years in England, and I since 2008 I've been speaking every single day more English than Polish, every day, and because of my job now and the fact that I worked in England for, only with British people, without any Polish engagement or anything. And in England, I used to go to different workshops. And I was seeing you telling me I'm not ready, I need to learn more, I need to get better. And at the back of my head, I had the guys doing the workshops in England, for example, very often from India, yes, and with the vocabulary of 2,000 words, yes, and like, hello, we are going to do this workshop today about health and safety, and I'm not making fun of the Indian accent or anything like that. I'm just saying that the mindset is usually what stops you from achieving more in life. And
exactly, because what was the difference because that was the moment when something switched on, and it changed from I can't speak English and I can't say everything I want, and the next week is like I can speak English, yes, I can say everything, better or worse, yes, but I can say everything, making a lot of mistakes, but I can say everything what I want. And it was not about my English skills, yes, it was only about my mindset. And that was amazing, I thought that it was like that, yes, but of course it was a long process.
Yes, and going back to this guy from India, what I was struggling to grasp is that what's the background, of the mindset of that guy from India who came to England, whose English is very basic, with the accent half of the Polish population would be laughing at or picking at, ha ha ha, it's not British, Harry Potter of water, accent. But this guy made a great life out of his skill of speaking, let's say, maybe not basic, but intermediate English with a lot of problems with pronunciation, etc. And, you are sitting, not you, but generally you at home, you are sitting and thinking, oh, I cannot do anything with my English, and you are on level B2, for example, and there is this guy from India who is on B1 or even pre-intermediate, and he makes, I don't know, £1,000 per day for providing a workshop for British people. So what happened to this guy in his country before he started achieving his goals, and you here in Poland? I still think that there is something in our very, not even Eastern European, but Polish culture, which stops us, which makes us think that we must be amazing and the best before we start doing something. Why? Tell me why.
But you know what? We are afraid of being criticized, of course. But what was very important, and I think that is my resource, that I know because for 18 years I'm running workshops and I work with people. And really it was very rare situation when somebody wanted really to harm me and to criticize me or do some tough situation during the workshop, yes? Even if I was very unexperienced trainer, people usually want to help you, want to be kind, yes? Especially when you are not pretending that you are the best, but you are humble.
Yeah.
And this is exactly with English, yes? And when I started, of course, I tried to process every negative thoughts in my head, yeah? Yes, and thinking about everything. And I thought that people will help me, yes? I will talk to people who speak English. So probably there will be people who are better, they have better English. So what will they do? They will help me. For
Absolutely.
sure. Yes, and it was exactly like that. I can ask for something or somebody paraphrase something in a better way, and I was very thankful for that. Yes. And so this is, I think, also important. What are our expectations to other people's behavior? Because this is sometimes the trap. Of course, there will be always somebody who wants to criticize or do some harm. But in general, I believe, and I'm sure, and my life is showing me that, this is my experience, that people are kind and want to help you, not harm you, in general.
Where are these people?
Oh, fuck you.
I mean, I believe you. I think generally people are amazing and we want to support each other, but I think one of the reasons maybe it's harder now to put yourself out there is the reality we live in with the social media. And the hate is... I was actually talking with my friend, thank you Mateusz for the microphones, I was talking with him yesterday, and we are trying to think about what's going on, that the level of, unfortunately, a very sad topic, the level of suicide in young people keeps growing in Poland, and unfortunately not only in Poland. And we thought that this is this constant pressure to be better, but the problem is that when you were criticized, 20 years ago, no, 30 years ago, oh my God, 30 years ago when I was at school, if I did something stupid, 20 people laughed at me. If they told friends from other, classes at school, 50 people would have laughed at me 30 years ago. And now it could be millions. You do one stupid thing, someone records it, puts it on TikTok, and you are screwed, And I'm thinking maybe this, yes, that...
Oh, for sure.
Because you're saying people want to support each other, but in the comment section of this podcast, I'm sure the haters will arrive.
Let them.
Absolutely, let them. Mel Robbins, recommend this book to you.
Yes, we talk
let them.
A lot about
but we
this
are
book,
maybe we have been somehow liberated, at least to a degree, from this expectation that everyone needs to admire us. I don't understand why you wouldn't, but yes, we don't expect this. But what about the people who really struggle at this? Would you have any Would you have any advice for such a person? Like, I'm not gonna do this online, or I'm not gonna do this workshop because people will be looking and criticizing.
Oh my gosh, you ask for an advice, psychotherapist. I would advise to go to psychotherapy. No, but what I would advise, to realize that 100% of people struggle. Yes?
Yeah.
And I was on amazing workshop about schema therapy with David Bachry. Sending greetings, and I'm so thankful for that. In beautiful Tuscany.
Yes, I'm starting my therapy next Wednesday, and I'm very happy about this.
In this...
yes, the same field.
Field, okay, in this field.
The same type of therapy,
Yes, yeah. And David said something deliberating for me.
Liberating?
Liberating. That everybody have two schemes, patterns in our brain. One is emotional deprivation. That's because there is nobody who had 100% needs fulfilled during our life, and especially when we were children. So we are emotionally deprived in some on some level, everybody. And that's why we are looking for acceptance, love, and positive emotions from other people. And the second pattern is that there is nobody feeling 100% okay with ourselves. Sometimes it looks like if some people are like narcissistic people, yes? But it is usually completely opposite because of huge pain and narcissistic wound, which is strongly connected with feeling unaccepted. People start to behave in such a way, yes? So when we realized that we are so similar in this field, all of us, yes, it makes me feel better. That especially when somebody do something unexpected, probably it is connected with a huge pain and somebody can't manage it in a healthy way. So we are doing what we can do due to our resources. Yes, that's why I invite people for therapy if we are ready or we feel that we need it, because we can teach to behave in a more healthy way for us and for other people, mature way.
In a mature way, yes. That's how I feel about the haters. And I'm a Christian. Actually, I have a hoodie today with a cross on it and the word faith. And people always ask me about the meaning of forgiveness in a way that isn't it crazy and stupid to forgive someone something horrible, like what's the point? And I'm not talking about the point that you feel liberated and you feel better when you forgive someone. In my opinion, is once you realize what you've just said, that we are all in the same shit, and we have wounds and we have traumas, and the traumas will last until the day we die. We can only partially work through them and process them and change them during therapy, for example. Heal, yes. If you the moment you realize that, you realize that there is most of the time, even a narcissistic person doesn't have the agenda to destroy you. It is the wound relieving itself through hatred or through a horrible comment online or something like that. But once you know it, and you start also making some reflections about your own life, because it's great that you don't hurt other people online, but what about your home? What about inside your little apartment with where you live with your partner, with your children? Don't you ever shout at anyone? Don't you ever make a horrible comment which will never go online, but it actually was released to this world? And when you realize that, and let's say really become a little bit more humble, for me it's much easier to let them, to just and from my Christian perspective, and I'm speaking about Christianity for a reason, because we've been talking about imperfection and accepting it. For many people, Christianity is not the great topic to discuss today, in terms of if you're still a believer in today's times, you're a crazy person. And I want to put myself out there and just admit it. I'm a believer, yes. But from this perspective, it's amazing to be freed from this thought that people are out there to hurt you. They aren't. They are just not dealing with their own pain in a healthy way.
Yes, I agree.
So to go back to the Christianity thing, I pray for them. Yeah, I say, I hope your life changes in such a beautiful way that next year you won't be making these comments. So I feel sorry for them, but not as a better person, rather someone who is aware that they're going through a lot of pain.
As everybody. here.
As we all do.
As we all do. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think maybe this could help someone like you and me, go out there to people and show that this level of English we have now is enough to do something
We are
great.
so brave.
Exactly.
Yes, we are so brave.
So can I ask you one more thing? What triggered you to actually make this decision? Like, let's do this first workshop I wanted to say in Portuguese, in English. And what was the trigger which turned you from a person thinking like, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, to a person, I don't care, I'm gonna do it?
I think that a lot of experiences I had because of you, and we had together just speaking English a lot for 2.5 years, and that was, of course, in this process it was very important, but also because being courageous is one of my merits.
Okay.
And it is very important for me, but I think that I learn, because it is always in progress, where is it when I make a decision which is overwhelming too much and I don't know exactly why I'm doing this, and it is a kind of overusing yourself. Yes, so I am in a very deep process to learn not to do it. But in this case, it was clear for me that I want to speak and I want to run workshops in English. So being courageous is the only way. But because I use your support and I was very consistent for 2.5 years, I actually, finally, I felt ready to try. Yes.
Consistency, and this is, in my opinion, after reading many books about habits, but mainly Atomic Habits, is the main road to success. But there is one problem with this I can see when I sometimes speak with people, and it is what you expect from yourself in regards of the time frame. So very often I see that the motivation is so high to make changes in your life that you go to this gym and you take the 30 kilos, you cannot lift it, and you stop. And this is what I've been sometimes struggling with. My English lessons are they are always much more than English, yes, but the one of the main goals, apart from making it so natural that you don't think that it's a lesson, it's a meeting, it's a relationship, but the process I'm trying to go through with my students is to and now I lost my thought. The process is that I'm trying to go with my students through is to show them that straciłem.
You started with the consistency and time and expectations, yes?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Consistency and expectations. Yes. It is to show that it is not the 1st of January, and when you start your lessons, that the miracle is never gonna come. It's the short-term miracle is not happening. And to set the expectations, to put them on the right scale, if it comes to time frame, is the road to success, because otherwise you will stop if you put too much on yourself, too much pressure. And very often people say, for example, they have a full-time job and they have a business and they have 2 children, and they say to me, give me more homework, please send me some more exercise, and give me 3 books and I'm gonna read them next week. So I've got a red lamp, flashing in my head, and I think, if we don't work through these expectations now, this person will fade away, will disappear, because he's trying to
give up.
Yeah.
I think that it is a kind of pattern in my life that mostly I'm never sure about anything.
Okay.
Maybe this is not something what coach or motivational trainer would say, but because you should be sure about your goals and what you want and what you expect. And I think that I'm in fact never 100% sure if I manage, if I will be ever good enough, and I let myself not to be sure. Yes, and that in this process it was also very important as far as we talk about expectations, because maybe somewhere very deep, of course, I had some expectations that you have to learn, that should be one day, and you will be ready to run. Yes, this workshop. But we never set any date. Yes.
No, we didn't.
We didn't. We just based on process and just talking every week, without any expectations. Yes?
That's right. That's right. And I think that's the only way you can do it. And, everyone goes through a different moment in life. If it comes to, in adulthood, it is so different when you want to do something new and learn something new. You have so many responsibilities. And if you don't set your goals with your English, if the goals are not realistic, you will give up. Yeah, like the 1st of January gym, and when people have this spike of dopamine or whatever, and they think, okay, now it's the new year and new me, etc. And the pace. The pace running. Yes, when I started running, I was so shocked how hard it was in the beginning. Yes, I almost died after 200 meters, and my head was working harder than my legs to accept it, to think, oh my God, I'm gonna I'm gonna keep running for 7 or 8 months to get to a place where half of my friends were in 10 years ago. But
I had a temptation few times to, for instance, to set a goal that I will pass because I have FCE, yes, from many, many years ago. And maybe I will pass another exam and it will make me be more motivated and more concentrated on English. And I'm not sure if it would not be so good to do this, but still, as you said, yes, I am a mom, I run my business, there is so many things I have to think and do that I didn't set any goal. And in my situation, in my life, with my personality and my resources, it was better. Yes? No expectations, in fact, no plan, just doing.
And this is the luxury we have as adults, because you don't get to have it when you're a young person. When you're young, you must pass your exams. When you go to university, the expectations are everywhere. And going back to this very hard topic of suicide, I used to work in a hospital in England where we were looking after young people after suicide attempts and suicidal thoughts, etc. And the highest amount of suicides was always before the exams at university. By the way, the pressure very often came from parents and not from the actual university. And you as an adult have this amazing and beautiful luxury to not to put yourself into this situation. You don't need to pass any exam. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. The goal should be to enjoy the process of speaking English. That's all.
Yes, and this is exactly the same what is my goal when I help people to go through the social anxiety connected with public speaking. Yes?
Okay.
That is the goal, to feel joy, to feel free.
Amen.
Amen, yes, exactly. You have a lot of fun, yes, now?
Yes, I'm having fun all the time. I have to stop myself from showing it because I like dancing, for example. I could do some dance now to express my joy. And you? Are you having fun?
Yes, of course.
And that's what it is. So when we are adults, when we don't have teachers over our heads telling us about exams and what the next book we must read is, it's a huge advantage. So maybe this is one of the patterns we have in our heads, that we must treat ourselves with some rigorous expectations. Does it come from the past, the school time?
For sure. And I was always shocked how much fun we have during our lessons.
So I'm gonna show off for a second, and very often I have a situation with a new student, the first lesson, and we talk and we chat. In the beginning they say, I'm very stressed, I don't know if I can do it, and I say, don't worry, you will forget about stress very soon, and so will I. And and then I say, so thank you so much for today, I need to go. And this person says, why? And I say, because it's the end of the lesson. And they say, really? And that is the...
Exactly, yes.
The showing
exactly
off, it's
like
not...
that.
Yes, it's not about, how great the lessons are, but it's about how we can shape the way we think about learning to not to just be successful, but to be happy.
Yes.
To enjoy, to say, wow, I'm gonna speak English today again, and I don't care about the mistakes, and this is exactly how you learn. So the process of learning. I once talked with a guy who knew English on, I would say, intermediate level. He wasn't my student, but I knew him very well, and he was always focused on extreme details about English. For example, one day he was asking me for like an hour about how to pronounce the word table. Is it table, table? And I was like, I don't know anymore how to pronounce this word. I have no idea. And
with me now, you probably know nothing about conditionals.
Yeah, but when you focus on some little details, because you are striving for perfection and not enjoyment, that's what stops you from, because the mistakes you make on the way, we have to make some cheesy comment in a podcast, it's crucial, yes? So the mistakes you make on the way lead you to perfection. Or something.
Amen.
Is it nice? I hope so. But I want to read we were going to start with one quotation, and we will end with it. I don't know how long we've talked. Almost 1 hour.
I have no idea. In fact, this is exactly the same during our lessons.
That's it. Exactly. So I've got a quotation for you from Marion Woodman, and listen carefully. It is easier to try to be better than you are than to be who you are. I will read it again. It is easier to try to be better than you are than to be who you are. And I think everything we've talked about touches this energy here from this quotation, because we live in a culture like this now, that we must progress all the time, instead of sitting down on a sofa with a little bit of cat hair on it. It's there, it's still there. Yes, and instead of sitting down on a sofa and doing something fun and great, we are thinking how to be better. But only sitting on this sofa is the way to...
And this is the most crazy paradox, that the excellent progress is to accept that you don't need it because you are who you are and it's enough.
Exactly. But last question, I promise you. Why do you think it's like that today? Because when I look even at your books, my Kindle, this is Kindle by the way, is filled with about 300 books. And when I think about how many more books I want to buy, I'm not worried that I'm never gonna have time to read these books. I'm worried that I'm never gonna have enough time and money to even buy the books I want to read. And you keep thinking like, oh, if I read this book, I will be better. If I read this book, I will be better. First conditional. And instead of just enjoying this one book you're gonna choose now and relax with it and sit by the fire with this cup of coffee.
I think it's always a journey. Yes, Marion Woodman written many great books. One of them is The Heroine Journey. And it's about journey, and this journey have some stages. And I think it's so beautiful when we are going from the stage that I have to, and I do it in a compulsive way, that I have to read 300 books to be ready to run a workshop, to the stage when I can, because I enjoy it, I like it, beautiful. Yes, but I also cannot, and this is freedom.
You don't have to, yes?
I don't have to.
Yes.
I don't have to. I can, but I don't have to. That's
the first thing you said today when I came here, yes? And I shared with you vulnerability. It's one of my favorite words in English. And I said, I'm really scared of starting this podcast. And you said, isn't it beautiful that we don't have to do it?
Of course.
It's amazing, this freedom. That this journey to Mount Everest you mentioned, that we are only doing it now. We've been doing it for 1 hour because we believe it is important, yes,
and worthy.
Exactly, and that's more than enough. So, one more question.
Oh my gosh!
What will you do today? Last one, I promise. What will you do today to try to be who you are and not to try to be better?
I have ready answer, okay. Because today I will just go to the place where old people are.
Cemetery?
That is exactly what is going on during our lessons.
We are only just starting.
There are not only old people.
Okay.
The place where only old people are,
okay.
And somebody is taking care of them.
Okay.
Okay. So my father is there.
Okay.
For almost 3 weeks. And you know what? I will go there with my guitar and cards. Yes.
Yeah.
And we will be singing and playing cards.
Okay.
Nothing more.
And I will answer the same question. If you have 10 more minutes, I will have one more coffee with you and just enjoy the time without thinking about developing myself. Thank you so much, Marzena, for today. It's been such a pleasure. I'm almost not scared anymore.
Thank you for inviting me as a first person. Yes.
It's been a privilege and pleasure, and I will always remember that you said yes. And I hope...
Immediately.
Absolutely, immediately. And I hope this is not our last time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
No, it's